Other computer.
Oh, can you lower that your rap music?
Can you hear that?
Yeah, it's really loud.
All right, I'll turn it up.
Scott, this is Sevan to do a podcast this week. You're a good dude, Davey. Lowering the rap music. You are a good dude.
All right, let's do this shit. Make it quick.
You are a good dude. You are in a different mood than when we engaged earlier.
What'd you say?
You're in a different mood than when we engaged earlier.
Is that dinner? I had a little food. Feel better.
No, you seem worse. Did
Okay.
you just get home and shower?
No, I didn't shower.
Oh, you're in your hotel room.
Yeah.
Day one. Would you say day one is in the books?
Yeah, day one's in the books.
You consider the non-individual event days as a day one?
Yes, this is the day one. Day
And
one of the individual starts tomorrow, but this was the day one of the CrossFit Games.
and how is the pressure and the stress of the games? How are you dealing with that?
It's there, but I think I'm doing good.
How many people total? Volunteers, staff, like people, security, athletes. How many people involved in the show? 3,000?
No, less than that. So I think we have 600 or 700 volunteers, and then there's a number of staff, security, or grounds people that we use too.
And then all the athletes. How many athletes? Teams, masters, individual.
Hundreds.
Hundreds. I'm gonna say 3,000. I'm gonna say my number's right.
Okay. Are you taking notes when we talk, or what are you doing?
Yeah, I always take notes when we talk.
Okay.
I always take notes whenever I talk to anyone.
Okay.
That's not true. Not anyone.
Froning Farm shirt?
No. Goat shirt. Greatest of all time shirt.
I just see the FF. It looks like Froning Farms.
Oh, I wonder if they stole from there. When I talked to these guys, I told them that I would just like a shirt just with the goat on it. But these are the guys who are going to be making the Sevan podcast shirts that'll be coming out soon.
Very cool. Congrats.
Thanks, Davey. Are you in for the night?
Yeah, I mean, why don't we cover what time it is?
It is 9:46 p.m.
Yeah. Yes.
And you don't have any more meetings in your room or anything like that?
No, not this evening.
Okay. And what time will you start tomorrow?
What time will we start tomorrow? I'll probably have breakfast around 6:30, and then I'll leave here at 7. The event starts at 9.
And but in the morning, in the past, I would see you when it was dark. You would get up, so 6:30 is kind of a late start for you at the CrossFit Games.
No, I won't be up at 6:30. I'll be up earlier than 6:30. I'll have breakfast at 6:30.
Gotcha. And when will you leave the house the days of the individual events?
Depends on what day. Each day has a different start time.
Okay. You want to be like that? You want to be difficult? So I'll up the ante on the questions. One rep snatch event. Why is that after the cuts? How do you choose the order of the events?
Sequentially, with what I've programmed and what I'm trying to accomplish, it made sense, and it's where I wanted it to go. And with what we are trying to do with it, it makes sense.
And what are you trying to do with it? This is getting spicy. We're spicy. This might be the last one people enjoy. This one could end at any second.
Tell me about the clip we made of it. Tell me about the clip we put out.
About what do you mean? About the event clip?
Yeah, we announced it with Tula snatching 320, but what did we cut that video with?
I apologize. I don't remember.
So we cut it with video from the clean event in 2019, and that event was 10 individuals, It was really exciting. It had a lot of the way we were able to present it was very unique and very special for the games format. We've never been able to do a workout like where there's one platform and everyone's lifting on it. So, what we're doing with the snatch. And interestingly, I wanted to bring the snatch to 2020, and that was the original plan, and it was going to be in the event, but as we had to move it from Madison and we had to move it to the ranch, I decided to put the snatch off from using it in 2020 and use it here in 2021 when we came back to Madison. So we'd feel that electricity, that energy from the crowd and the stadium. So we're going to do a snatch-like event, or the snatch, like that event we did, where it's one platform for the crowd.
Let me be more specific.
And here's the thing, with 40 people, doing something like that, it's taking you all day. Or you're not doing something like that, basically.
Okay, let me put it to you like this: there's 9 events before there's the first cut, correct?
Yeah.
And would that, if I just unilaterally picked any of those events, let's say I took out day 1 and I made day 1 the swim paddle, and I switched it with event number, whatever event the snatch one is, and had them switch places, everyone would get to showcase their snatch. Would that affect the outcome of who makes it into the finals? And if so, would it be in a way that you don't think... I thought that was ice cream you were eating on my podcast. I was going to... right. Would that change the outcome in a way that you wouldn't like? But basically, because it's a heavy lift, right? And so there's what if you were to switch that with event 1? Would you get results that you didn't want in terms of the outcome of choosing the fittest human being alive?
In terms of the outcome of finding the fittest man alive, I would not get a different outcome if that was event 1. Because if the snatch was event 1, and that's what carried you through, that you needed that to carry you through 8 other events to get into the top 20, it's there's something wrong there. There's way too many points. There's way too many opportunities. Like that. That's not a case. Here's the problem though. People bias and default to this position of, well, how are you not testing 1 rep max strength for these guys before the cut? And they always get mad at this before having cuts. Why can't everyone do the lift? Everyone gets so upset when they don't see their star athletes lift heavy. They're so upset by that. And I get it, but it doesn't, they are all very strong, and they are all similar in ability, relatively speaking. You look at the numbers they hit. Yes, there's some that'll hit 320. There's others that'll hit 280. But mostly, this isn't the place where there's a specialist. And so the 9 other tests prior to the snatch also, in various ways, test strength. And test strength that I and CrossFit care about, and in ways that we care about, which you'll see. There's a few key components to this picture that you haven't seen yet. So the people are going to lose their shit when we do the snatch and
like in a good way? Are you talking about
in a bad way that so-and-so was cut and they didn't get to do it, and if they only could have got to do it, but they only had 9 other chances to get to that point.
Well, from the little bit I'm hearing from you, they're also going to lose their shit in a good way, because I'm picturing this thing now being in the Coliseum, one guy going up at a time, and it is actually, I would tell people, bring your earplugs, because it gets so loud in there. It's probably the loudest. I've been to a bunch of concerts. It's probably one of the loudest venues I've ever been in. Absolutely crazy. Okay, let me ask you one more thing about the cuts, and then I'll stop beating this dead horse. When in 2015, 16, 17, and 18, you had no cuts, and you programmed 4 amazing events, and because there were no cuts, there were fewer points to win each event, and it was pretty fucking dramatic. There was a lot of drama. When you do when you do cut the people, I think you do get a better spectacle. But does that come at the cost of someone who's doing really well, really moving ahead too far and too fast?
There's
Do you get what I'm saying by that?
yeah. It's interesting because when you look at there's outlier athletes when we didn't cut who might disrupt the top, but for the most part, when you look at how people finish at the games, and like take Matt for example, a majority of their finishes are all in the top 10.
Right.
Take a look at the second place and the third place. A majority of their finishes are all really high up there. So minus the one person who in one event comes up and disrupts, like they're pretty well rounded, and that's not necessarily always happening. And especially when we talk 20, like the occurrences, just have one of your guys look at this, the occurrences of 20 or below coming up and disrupting in a significant way are probably pretty low. And I haven't studied that, but I imagine it's probably correct.
Okay, one of my guys has a ton of free time on his hand right now, so I will. I'll mention. Yeah, I'll mention it to him. He's got just a ton of free time. Dave, today when you went out and tested event number 1, when you took the athletes out there to look at the kayaks and the fins, did you see anything that was just absolutely fucking ridiculous that you thought, oh shit, we're going to have a Rob Orlando situation, or a Jason Khalipa Spieler throwing the ball situation where you're like, oh fuck, maybe this, who would have thought someone could be this dangerous in a kayak? Like, was there anyone who just couldn't, who just like second they got in it, they rolled over and went into the water?
Well, so it's a good question.
Was there anyone who put the fins on their hands? I mean, were you like, oh fuck?
So as they were out there, I was on the other side of the lake because I had the demo team, 2 members of the demo team, the Aussies, the 2 Aussie boys, do the entire workout. And so I was meeting them on the other side while the individuals showed up. And so then I picked them up, drove to the other side of the lake. So the individuals had already swam, and most of them were out or finished with the kayak piece and getting out. So I really didn't, by the time I got there, and then I started shooting the shit with some of the athletes and, talking to Tia, I didn't really notice anything of what how you're suggesting.
When you say you were talking to some of the athletes and then you said Tia's name, do you only normally talk to the athletes who are like, top 5, top 10 potential? Do you do you talk to any of the 37 fittest man in the world?
According to Matt, on what was his line? Once he started winning, I started kissing up to him. Fuck, whatever. No.
There's you've been posting a lot of videos of these Ram trucks. You posted a video today of 2 girls on the demo team. I think.
Bite on that comment. Why didn't you bite on that?
Because that's my boy. I'm not. That's my boy. I'm not going to circle.
Sounds like you're bought and paid for.
Nah, it's just my boy. I don't want to like. I don't want to.
Yeah, good. Keep going. Next question.
Those Ram trucks. They're a sponsor of CrossFit or the CrossFit Games.
CrossFit Games.
And I know one year Porsche was a sponsor, and there was a track set up, and it looks like you have a track set up for the Ram trucks also. Is that what's going on?
Yeah, one year there was an autocross track from Porsche, and then this year there's this like off-road dirt track with jumps. That's really cool.
And do the trucks actually catch air?
Yes.
And did you drive one that caught air?
No, I didn't. They're just letting their professional drivers drive them.
Oh, okay. Would you get one of those trucks ever? Would you buy one of those?
No, I'm not going to spend $100,000 on a truck.
Our old boss has 2 Dodge Ram 3500s.
Does it? So they just want to go by Ram. I don't think they're Dodge Ram anymore.
Who's bought and paid for? Who's bought and paid for?
So tag at Ram Trucks.
Well, they look awesome. I just noticed you've been giving them a lot of love, and I know you wouldn't do that unless you really liked them. So I was just like, oh shit, is Davey going to go home and fucking...
I told him I'm still driving a 10-year-old Ford F-150.
Just trying to get, like, hoping someone will just be like, hey, Dave, here's your Dodge Ram.
Yeah.
The swim water, is that lake contaminated?
It's good. It's all good.
I spoke to Sam Stewart today, and he said it had a distinct odor.
There's a distinct odor on the beach. It smells like shit. But I think it's just all the birds shit or dog. I don't know what it is, but it didn't smell good. But it's not that.
Okay. What is the toughest event this year?
There's a handful of them. Sunday, I can think of one that's really, really challenging. Saturday. Saturday. There's gonna be hard ones. Friday night, something special. Saturday, Wednesday. There's a few gems. There's a few I'm really proud of.
And when I say toughest, I mean one where you have to stay in the pain cave the longest.
Ryan, wake up.
Hold on. Yeah. We'll see.
Can you tell us the toughest event? Which one you absolutely think is the toughest?
No. I mean,
Okay.
I can't.
You just can't.
Yeah.
Did you get any more information on the broadcast schedule? Today when I was watching on YouTube, I noticed that it looks like it's going to be on YouTube every day.
I think that's the case. Just check the site.
I've lost you. I fucking lost you. How long after this interview's over will you go to bed?
A few minutes. I'm out in a minute.
Okay, let me ask you one more question before you hang up. If someone, let's say, did rub you the wrong way, let's say you had let's say something happened between you and someone, you know what I mean? What would you prefer for amends, flowers or candy? Box of chocolates.
No, we're good. You haven't rubbed me the wrong way. We're good. As of right now, I plan on being on the show tomorrow too.
All right, Dave. Thanks, dude, for doing this.
All right.
How many pictures did you take today?
Just a few.
100?
I don't count anymore.